What's up? It's your favorite Northern Belle, aka it's your girl Jor, and welcome back to another episode of So Hear Me Out the podcast. Welcome back, y'all. Last week, technically this week, we had some technical difficulties, but I still got that episode up for y'all. Hashtag consistency. Last week we had a ball. This weekend, the summer is really coming to an end, y'all, and I'm counting down the days, but I'm also like, oh my gosh. When you're an adult, there's really like the trips you plan and major life events is all you have to look forward to. When you're a kid, it's like, oh my gosh, summertime's here. Ah, I don't understand how it's not mandatory for adults to have like a month off of work with pay the same way they do with the school, like with the schools. They get a month off mandatory. But that's an episode topic for another day. So hear me out. We've all heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together. And too many times, I've personally been told to be mindful of the company I'm keeping. One thing that wasn't shared with me is that adulting can be so lonely. Like, lonely. I'm Mrs. Lonely. Now more than ever, I'm starting to understand the separation before elevation concept on more level than one. Jordan, get it out. On more level than one. Slow down. Which brings me to today's topic. Lonely versus alone. We all know the difference between the two. Alone being the physical, there's no one around you, and then lonely is the emotional where you just feel lonely. I don't really know how else to explain that. If I had to pick which one to be, I choose to be lonely, to be honest. This is because to me, loneliness is only temporary, and being alone sometimes can lead to permanent. You know? It's like if you force so many people away and you're just so okay with not having anyone around, to me, that just feels so lonely. In today's day and age with social media and, everyone protecting their peace, quote unquote, it just seems so lonely out there. Like there aren't real friend groups that hang out and there's genuine love. But moving on. Margaret Deland once said, "It is better to be lonely than it is to be alone." To all my Disney kids out there, the Cheetah Girl is saying, we might be lonely, but we're not alone. And for my Christian folk, the psalmist wrote, "No, never alone. He promised never to leave me alone." All different ways that show us that it's okay to be lonely, but we don't necessarily have to be alone. To me, honestly, when your life is about to upgrade, you can internally feel a shift change within you. The items you once loved no longer serve a purpose to you. The songs that used to bop just don't hit the same. And even your space seems to be too small. You might even look at yourself a little different. This isn't a bad thing necessarily, though. This is just what tends to happen. And unfortunately, a lot of friends that you once had just don't make it. Who remembers like during, I don't want to say commencement. It was like when you're inaugurated into your school, maybe it's just a Norfolk State or HBCU thing. They told us, look to your left, look to your right. Somebody right here might not make it. And that rings true even in a non-professional or academic setting. People will tell you all the time that when you have a baby, when you get married, or even when you're more serious with your faith, you'll start to see who's there for you and who isn't. We talked last season about friendship breakups, and the same things from that episode still remain true for me. Losing a friend can hurt more than a romantic partner because those are the people who you felt like were going to be there forever through thick and thin. And sometimes it's just no beef, no bad blood. We just outgrow each other. Have you ever looked around a room full of people that you genuinely love and care for, but you feel so isolated and lonely? There's nothing wrong with you or them. You just feel isolated. It's a sign that you could be outgrowing the phase or space in your life, or there's a shift change going on. There's so much power in being lonely to me, or feeling lonely to me. This is where self-discovery is at the tip of the iceberg. Lonely doesn't mean immediately, sad or depressed. It's the emotional feeling of separation. While some of us are in this lonely season, I urge you to dig deeper with yourself and just learn what this season is preparing you for. Take inventory of everything, y'all. Not one singular thing, not this specific part everything. And, from the shows you're watching to the food you're eating, the company you're keeping, and just the habits that you have. Genuinely take the time and regain control of your life emotionally, financially, spiritually, physically, all of the Alees, There are so many times when we just feel like there's nothing that we could do to possibly grow. And I feel like that's when we don't take into consideration what could be changed. Take, for instance, when the seasons are about to change, you probably go through your closet and see, okay, did I wear this last season? Am I going to wear this? Is this fitting? And we throw it out, or we donate it, or we give it away. The same can happen with, your personal. While I don't think there's anything wrong with being alone, people do enjoy being alone. There's something about the peace of living alone when you're in your own space and you've created this safe space, this haven, this uh this Casa Dojo house, Barbie reference. It's just something in there that you kind of just feel so proud that you can be alone with yourself and at peace, and you don't feel like you have to go outside and get those things. The going to the bar just to fill a void, the drinking to fill a void, the using drugs to fill a void, the talking to people you don't actually like to fill a void. Those are all the things that I feel like we don't take into consideration, that it's important for us to get to know ourselves, and it's okay to feel lonely. I wanted to just let you guys know that if you're ever feeling lonely, enjoy that time as much as you can. But really start to put two and two together and understand why you're feeling this way. Try to get to just know yourself and get to understand this phase, this season. It's all right. You'll be fine. The friends, if they're true, will still be there. The vibes will always be there. The club's gonna be there. The boys gonna be there. The girls gonna be there. Everyone's still gonna be where they are. It's really just you versus you in this moment. In this season, that's what I'm learning. It's me versus me. It's not me versus her, me versus him, me versus them, me versus anybody. It's me versus Jordan. And every day I'm competing with the Jordan from the day before, while also cherishing young Jordan and making sure that we're doing things that are making her proud and making her smile. Everything won't be perfect. Everything, of course, like the moon, is a phase. There's a phase and a time for everything. But we'll figure it out, especially if you believe in the same God I do and you know that he's going to see you through no matter what. All right, y'all. I had to end that on a good Christian note. But that's all I've got for you guys today. A very short and sweet episode. Just a quick little tidbit to get your weekend going. So let me know in the comments what season you're in and what is teaching you at the moment. Thank you for hearing me out. I'll be back next Friday for another episode. Okay. Love you. Bye.